Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel, The Abundance Oracle. Today we're going to talk about some grocery store hacks for working parents. This is to level up your game. Everyone now is working, inflation is getting stronger, and there's less money in people's pockets. The recession is here, as I'm sure most of you, if you're following me, you already know. We could use all the money saving strategies for meals, and just keep in mind that the more grocery store pre-made products you buy, the more it costs and the less healthy the food is that you eat. So let's just say we are now stuck needing to work even more to pay the bills and needing to spend more time cooking for healthier food. Catch 22, I guess. But let's talk about some strategies that might be able to make it easier. Okay. This should hopefully save you some time and some money. And if you're a working parent, maybe you can split the strategy with some of your kids and maybe your spouse. Okay, number one, I think I have 7 of these. Figure out what you like to eat the most. You, your family, whether you're single or married or however many people you're cooking for. Get a list of your top 5 meals. For example, I happen to love burgers with cheese off the grill. Then figure out your favorite 5 budget-friendly meals that use the same main ingredient. So that would be chopped beef for me. And so my favorite budget-friendly meal would then be the same thing for American chop suey, goulash, spaghetti with meatballs, and meatloaf. Okay, so those are all made with ground beef. And now I can buy a big bulk 5-pound, maybe even more, depends upon how many meatballs and how many are in your family, big thing of ground beef, and it reduces your cost of the most expensive ingredient in the meal. So, excuse me, you're gonna need to take maybe half a day to cook meals ahead, but it'll also save you time in the future and a lot of energy. So go ahead and plan one Saturday or Sunday morning or whenever you have off, if it's a night or whenever it is, and start cooking hamburger patties. Then you're gonna, for American chop suey and goulash, uses little elbow macaroni. You can make, for both of those, use the elbow macaroni. A whole pound for me would be more than enough for a whole month. And so then make your meals and separate them into meals that you can put into the freezer and take them out, pop them in the oven. So when you're on the go to get to your gymnastic classes, or you're gonna, my daughter, she runs a lot. She's gonna do the Boston Marathon. So you want to have those be able to be popped out of the freezer or keep them in the refrigerator, but leave them in the size and quantity that you need when you go to use them. Don't freeze a whole big thing and then it causing a problem because you can't defrost everything. Okay, number 2, buy from budget-friendly grocery stores. I have a BJ's, but there's also Costco, there's Sam, and that emphasizes once again, the bulk ability to save money. There's also such things as ethnic grocery stores, like near us when I lived in Greenwich, right off the highway, there was an Asian store that was fabulous, and it was so much less expensive than the Stop and Shop. So start exploring a little bit and looking for these things. Sometimes even the same product on the international aisle of the store is even cheaper. So for example, I found the chicken bouillon. You could get a big, huge bottle of the chicken bouillon for the same just the same exact same thing, but in the regular section of the spices, you had to buy them in these little squares, and it was so very much more cost effective to buy it in a big, huge bottle. But the best thing is see if you can get things from farms directly and find out if those farms are organic. I've seen here where I live half the year, there is a farmer's market, but all the people selling at the farmer's market are not necessarily organic farmers. I know in my mind, maybe not in yours, but in my mind, I think of it as organic and better and healthier for you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the case. So check it out and speak to the people selling the products. Some of them you'll find out they just buy it in bulk and divide it up, and so they go to a lot of the farmers markets and they aren't even from their farm. So be careful what you're buying. If you're really lucky, you may have a friend that owns a restaurant that can buy a bulk purchase maybe once a month for you. And that, for example, the ground beef would be even cheaper to get it from the restaurant supply place, Cisco or someplace like that would be even cheaper. So cozy up to some of those restaurant owners. Okay. Also, don't forget loyalty programs. I know with Stop and Shop, if you put your number in, you get more discounts than if you just buy off the shelf. There's farm loyalty programs, there's coupons, there's weekly sales. For example, Monday mornings, our Stop and Shop has a manager special, and you have to get there early. They mark down their meat that needs to be sold fast. In the meat section is Monday mornings. So just go into the butcher shop and ask, okay, do you have a certain day when you do your markdowns? And you'll find out, and hopefully that'll help you save some more money. Okay, I can't emphasize enough the importance of meal planning. It's going to give you shopping lists, and it's going to prevent you from making impulse purchases, and it reduces a lot of waste. Now, y'all know what I mean by those impulse purchases. For me, Lay's potato chips and diet soda, both of which are not healthy for you. I like them both. It's bad, especially they're finding out what's in the sodas. Anyway, I'll leave that for RFK to disclose. Okay. So my favorite thing was the burgers, right? So the first night I'm going to buy a big 5-pound ground beef thing, but I'm going to not only make burger patties, but I'm also going to make my goulash and American chop sueys and extend that ground beef out with elbow noodles, spaghetti sauce, breadcrumbs, or egg, and some sauce are added to the meat, for the meatloaf. So you're not only just getting a good buy on the meat, you're also extending out the meat at the same time. Okay. So I also want to say if you get a really good bargain, like my sister bought half a cow, but you get so much, you either have to have a huge freezer or you have to know how to preserve. So they know how to preserve, I know how to preserve. It's not as hard as you would think, and it extends the shelf life of your purchases, and it reduces a lot of food waste. So stop buying plastic bags. Use and reuse glass containers. It's healthier, and there's no extra cost if you just save them from items that you've already purchased and are currently using. Okay, number 6, and my last tip. Online shopping and pickup and delivery cuts down on your seeing the goodies that you throw in your container. We're talking about the Coca-Colas and the Lay's potato chips and throwing them in your cart. The farmer's market might offer potential savings as well because you don't see the man-made chemical food at a farmer's market that you do see on the aisle ends or in the chips part of the Stop and Shop. Oh my gosh, you're learning a lot about me. It takes all my energy to walk past that chip aisle, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm right there with you. We got to work on this together. And there's another, if you're down south, there's another service called Azure, Azure Standard, and they allow communities to get together and buy in bulk. So they'll bring a huge truck out to your area, and everyone will have their purchases in like little baskets and stuff like that. But you pre-order, and you'll know you can get a 20-pound or a 50-pound bag of flour, and they're so very much cheaper. Unfortunately, so far they don't come to New England or to my other place either. So you're going to have to live in the right location to get that Azure Standard. I especially need to make, this is my admission, I especially need to make more local organic farmers purchases because I feel there's going to be shipping interruptions as well. And I think on the 20th, the United States is having a longshoremen's shipping strike. So plan ahead, people, plan ahead. This is the Abundance Oracle. Please, if you have any other ideas that might help other people with food purchases, please tell us below in the comments section. They can help us all. We need to build a little community to get tips and tricks and everything we can do to keep our budgets friendly. Please subscribe if you'd like more helpful tips, financial education, and silly stories. I'm sort of all over the place, unlike a lot of channels. This is just a lot of self-expression and sharing a lot of what I used to do when I managed significant quantities of money. All right, come back again. We hope to see you. Bye-bye.